If you are a renter and thinking that you might want to rent that beautiful house in an HOA community with all kinds of nice amenities, there are a few things you should probably know. First, most HOA communities highly discourage or outright forbid property owners from renting out their home to anyone. Both the property owner and tenants are at risk for renting out HOA homes. If you are a renter looking to rent an HOA home, you should always get confirmation that it is permitted. If you move into an HOA neighborhood that doesn't allow renters, you may later find out that your tenancy could be cut short, or there will be a lot of pressure on the property owner to make you move out. Oftentimes, the easy way to tell if an HOA community allows renters or not is that there will generally be a sign posted near the community entrance that says "Leasing Restricted Community" or some similar verbiage. That is a polite way of saying that renters are unwelcome and perhaps not even allowed in the HOA community. Second, HOAs by its very name stands for Homeowner Association. That means the community that was specifically designed, built for, and sold to homeowners, unlike apartment buildings and other tenant communities, which are designed to accommodate tenants. Homeowners have rights and privileges in an HOA community that tenants generally do not. When homeowners buy into an HOA community, they automatically become a member of the HOA with voting rights and agree to the rules and covenants of that community. When tenants move into an HOA community, tenants generally don't carry the same weight of responsibility to follow the HOA rules as the property owner. That is one reason why tenants are unwelcome into HOA communities. The rules are binding to a property owner, whereas the rules are indirectly binding to a tenant. Although many leases may require tenants to follow and abide by HOA rules and responsibilities, at the end of the day, they simply don't own the property. As such, they do not have the same legal obligation, weight of responsibility, and financial interest as the property owner. Speaking of obligations, my cat Lexi has placed responsibility on me to ask you to swipe that like button to help this video spread out to more viewers. And in order for me to appease her, I have agreed to give her a special treat if you hit that subscribe button. Because tenants have no voting rights, they are barely recognized by most HOAs from a legal standpoint. Unlike an apartment building designed for tenants, HOAs may not acknowledge complaints that tenants might have. HOAs will likely be dismissive of tenants because most HOAs believe that tenants don't belong in an HOA community at all. Period. They are considered unwelcome residents. Any complaints you might have as a tenant will often have to be routed through the property owner, who serves as your landlord. If it sounds like a form of discrimination, that is because it is, and it's perfectly legal. This is why property managers and landlords screen to do income checks and credit checks for all rental properties. If you don't fit a pre-established financial criteria, you can be declined from housing in a rental property. In an HOA, this form of discrimination goes a step further. The central question is, are you a homeowner of that HOA community? If you are not, then simply being a tenant in itself can be a problem for many HOAs. There is a general belief within and without an HOA community that property values are higher when homeowners dominate an area than if it is a tenant-based area. Part of that belief comes from the idea that tenants often don't have as much at stake to maintain and upkeep the property. There is also more resident turnover. The more turnover, the less desirable a neighborhood. From my perspective, that is somewhat debatable. Sometimes tenants carry a greater weight of responsibility than property owners because tenants know they have few rights and are vulnerable to having their tenancies terminated. This causes some tenants to perform and upkeep better in some situations than many property owners. However, despite everything I've said, if you still want to rent into an HOA neighborhood, these are my tips for any tenant who chooses to lease in an HOA. Number 1, be low key. Don't invite too many of your friends and family over at once. If you cause or attract excessive noise and crowds into a quiet HOA community, you will upset your neighbors and invite unwanted attention to yourself. And please, don't say that another neighbor invites lots of people, has parties, and also causes a lot of noise also. The difference is that that neighbor is probably a homeowner with full HOA rights, and you as a tenant don't. And you can be sure that if you are not a low-key tenant, your landlord, the property owner, will get complaints about you. Number 2, avoid using any amenities like tennis courts, swimming pools, playgrounds, etc. if possible. However, if you must use amenities, keep a small footprint. This means don't have a large group of people using any amenity at one time. Be low key and keep the noise levels down. Number 3, always keep up with your yard and the landscaping. Park responsibly. Few things will rile up HOA homeowners than an unkept yard and landscaping from their neighbors. If you are a tenant, you will be held to a higher standard to keeping up the exterior appearance of the home than any homeowner with voting rights will. You can be assured that complaints will be made about any shortcomings of your ability to maintain the yard and landscaping to the property owner. Next up, if you have pets, similar rules apply. You have to do a better job to make sure your pets don't leave a mess in the neighborhood or become disruptive in the HOA community. Clean up after them and try to keep them inside, especially if they like to bark loudly. Don't let your pets run and roam freely. Number 5, be extra nice, considerate, and respectful to your immediate neighbors around you. Befriend them if you can. If you are generally nice, respectful, polite, and responsible, you will gain support from your HOA neighborhoods over time, even if you're a tenant. Over time, your neighbors would rather have someone they already know, like, and get along with than taking the chance of getting a new unknown resident in that house, even if they are a homeowner instead of a tenant. Thank you for watching this video. I want to hear from you. Let me know your thoughts about tenants living in an HOA community. Don't forget to swipe that like button, and I will see you in my next video.